Down?
No, I wish we could. I wish we could have it went down.
Morning. Hit that like button on the way in, y'all. Hit that like button. On the way up in here. Morning, California Dreaming in NYC. How you doing this morning? Give some people opportunity to roll up in here. Yeah, that's right, you're here first. How you doing? This fine Sunday morning, California Dreaming. How's your day going so far? No. Nope, don't have the Tecate yet. Haven't caught the Tecate yet. Nope. You know, and if I do, it is what it is. But y'all know how I feel about its existence in the first place. I need proof. I need proof. And when they tell me they don't have isolates available with which to test against, yeah, I'm not rolling with the whole Tecate narrative. I need evidence. That's how I roll. What about you? Any COVID yet for you? Dang, why did I say that? Tecate, I mean. Yes. Outlander, Oakland Raiders. What's up? It's not my favorite team, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm a Niner myself. You know, it's not the Oakland Raiders anymore. It's the Las Vegas Raiders or Nevada Raiders or whatever the fuck they gonna call them. It's not gonna be Oakland for much longer. And I'm considering making a move out there so that I can get in on the building of that stadium just to get the hell out of California. That's an option. Don't know anyone. I still don't. You know, I was talking to my mom's yesterday. And I'm very disappointed in my mother, man. But you know, my mom's a statist. My mom's a statist who buys into left-right paradigm lies. So I couldn't say I was really surprised by what she did, but I had a long conversation with her yesterday. And needless to say, what she told me was disappointing regarding Tecate. You know what I mean? Apparently, so we were talking about the whole vaccine trials. We were talking about I was telling about germ theory and, you know, what's behind germ theory and how it's still just a theory and not a proven scientific fact yet. Like the idea that you can pass germs that make you sick on the other people that and make them sick. Like you can pass on the sickness. You know what I mean? And I told her about a study where scientists took sick people and put them in a room with healthy people, and they had the flu or the cold, and they took a swab from the sick people and put that swab into the sinuses of the healthy people and had them stay in the room with them for like a week or two. And those healthy people never contracted the disease. You know what I mean? So, after I talked about that, hit that like button. Lawrence Ritano, what's going on? I'm good, man. Just living my life. So, I told my mom about that study, and that's when she told me vaccine trial, vaccine trial. I was like, what? Yeah. She told me that she went ahead and had 2 injections of the Moderna vaccine that they were developing. And I was like, why would you do that? And her thing was, if I can participate in something that could help people get better or fight the Tecate, I want to do it. I was like, oh my God. But, so what happens is there's 2 groups. One gets the placebo and the other gets the actual vaccine. And she doesn't know. They won't reveal to her which one she had until they actually complete the study. So she doesn't know which one she had, but she thinks she had the real one because she had a fever of 101 for a couple days. Why are old school peeps so stuck in their old ways? They don't seem to understand that as time goes on, things change. Word. But, my mom's, she participated in the Moderna vaccine trial. But like I said, she felt sick for like a day or two, felt really tired, had a fever, low-grade fever.
What's up, George?
How you doing, man? Look good. Oh, he wasn't talking to me. So, yeah, so she did that, thinking that she was doing some good for humanity, but really what she did was put her own life, in my mind, at risk. She'll be 70 years old this year, but we'll see. She's always been very healthy, and she hadn't taken any vaccines in like 10 years. But because of Tecate 19 and the fear that it brought to her, she decided to take the flu vaccine. She took what's that one? Where your chicken pox act up when you get older. I forgot that. Which one is that? Shingles. What's up, 1113? Kevin Defoe, yeah, shingles. So she took the shingles vaccine, which she had never taken. And man, she got real fucked up from that one for like 3 or 4 days. She was sick. But hey, Kevin, any relation to Willem? Yeah, but she took the shingles vaccine, the flu vaccine, and participated in this Moderna vaccine trial. And that's what fear does to you, right? Fear will have you saying, oh, I'm gonna take the flu vaccine, even though I never believed in it before, so that I don't get confused if I get sick about whether or not I have Tecate or the flu. Now, that's to assume, see, she's already assuming that the flu vaccine is gonna work, right? But the flu vaccine has a 30% success rate because there are always new strains of the flu. So they don't know which strain is going to be predominant in a given year. So they're giving you the vaccine. They're giving you a vaccine that may work or may not work against the flu. So that's what fear gets y'all. Fear 300 days of nonstop fear on MSM caused decades of damage. Yeah. My ex does med testing on humans for a vaccine, was just diagnosed with Tecate. Well. Sorry to hear that. But you have to imagine a lot of people in the medical profession that deal with in that field, they're probably gonna get exposed to whatever this is they're calling the Tecate. You know what I mean? They play dance hall in Cali now? Man, they've been playing dance hall in Cali. Now, I didn't start hearing dance hall until I was in the Army all those years ago.
Hello.
But yeah, that's the first time I heard it. Was in, what was I, in Georgia? I was in Georgia when I first started hearing dance hall music. Oh, you said kids are okay? It's good. You've never had the flu. You never had the flu, believe it or not. And I've been on dialysis for 20 years. Never took a vaccine. Wow, California dreaming. I'm sorry you had to hear. Sorry to hear you had to be on dialysis though. That sucks. My wife's uncle, well, her great uncle, he just passed away. And his funeral was this coming Wednesday. But he had kidney issues from birth. And he wasn't supposed to live past 6 years old. So the doctor told him, you won't live past 6. I do have a Facebook page, Lawrence. Trump supporters, and started sucker punching people, and will sucker punched an old woman out of nowhere. These people are out of control. I'm gonna get into all that. They took my life expectancy with 5 years. That was 14 years ago. That's what's up. You just keep pushing. You gotta keep fighting. You gotta have that fighting spirit. Hell no, I don't believe in everything they say. But unfortunately, he passed away, and he was 65. You know, he lived a lot longer than they expected. Yeah, so it's the news. My wife's cousin in Tennessee, you know, my wife's family's from Tennessee. My wife's cousin in Tennessee just came down with the Tecate. Apparently, she had stopped breathing or couldn't breathe, so they ran her to the hospital and gave her some breathing treatments. Now she's back at home and has to quarantine for 14 days. So my wife's cousin allegedly has Tecate, and that's the closest it's ever gotten to me, the Tecate virus, in terms of people I know who had it. And she's in Tennessee. But yeah, speaking of this whole Tecate situation and, you know, our government's response to it and how they're dealing with it, I have to talk about California Governor Nuisance. That's what I'll call him. His name is Gavin Newsome, but I call him Gavin Nuisance because he's a fucking nuisance of freedom. So, if you guys aren't aware, a couple weeks ago, Governor Nuisance put out some rules for Thanksgiving, okay? He put out some rules for celebrating Thanksgiving, all right? So, apparently, like, you couldn't have, like, households of more than 3 show up to your house. So you had a 3-person maximum from each household show up to your house, and I think you can only have a maximum of 10 people, all right? So you could have up to 10 people in your house. Jesus. You can have up to 10 people in your house for Tecate giving, for Tecate giving. Well, might as well call it Tecate giving. So for Thanksgiving, you can only have 10 people in your house. You had to be outside. And if you had covers, right? If you had canopies, right? You know, those easy ups, it had to be a certain size, and you had to have so many openings in your easy up. And you could go inside to use the bathroom, but it had to be constantly sanitized. So this is what Governor Nuisance has put out for people in California to follow. This is his new edict, okay? Even though the court told him that he had no authority, you know, it was unconstitutional, he's still doing it. This is what I'm saying. How many times do we have to go through shit like this to realize that the system is not for the people? You understand? It's not for the people, by the people. Even like they tell you it is. It says in the Constitution that it is, but it's not. They don't act as though it is. You understand what I'm saying? They constantly disregard the Constitution when it suits them, and they use it when it suits them. That's why I don't really care about the Constitution all that much. But anyway, so he made all those rules. No more than 10 people in the household. You got to stay outside. You can only go in the house to go to the bathroom, and you had to constantly sanitize your bathroom. What? Why does that have to be something that a governor makes an edict? Oh, can you clean your bathroom? Why is that something that he has to mandate? Shouldn't you already be cleaning your bathroom, regardless of Tecate or not? Like washing your hands. Shouldn't you already be washing your hands, cleaning surfaces, all this other shit? Anyway, so Governor Newsom passed this down as a mandatory edict, right? But guess what he got caught doing on his 50th birthday? Guess what he got caught doing? No, they ain't gonna check shit. But they know 90% of sheep out here are, well, 100% of sheep. 90% of people, 100% of sheep are gonna follow the edict. Because, and then, you know, you're gonna have neighbors snitching. Oh, my neighbor has 11 people in his house. You know, you're gonna have that going on. You know, like Mayor Garcetti said, snitches get rewards. So people gonna be snitching, talking about, oh, he's not wearing a mask, all that bullshit. So, you know, you got that. But guess what Governor Newsom's got caught doing on his 50th birthday? He was at a restaurant, inside a restaurant, with 12 other people without a mask on. No mask, 12 other people, no social distancing at all. He got caught. And you know what happened? He apologized. He apologized for getting caught celebrating his birthday with 12 people and not social distancing and not wearing a mask. You understand? He apologized for getting caught. He ain't sorry for doing it, just like I wouldn't be. But you see how these people operate. And also, your girl Pelosi was trying to have a celebration for Thanksgiving with a whole bunch of people. And she canceled it because people were getting on her head about not following social distancing guidelines and all that other shit. So these people, if you really think they represent you, you got another thing coming. And this is why I talk why I talk what I talk about. And you know, my channel doesn't gain no steam because I'm going against the grain. I'm going against the system. They don't like that. Yeah, her hairdresser. You know what I'm saying? Her hairdresser. I mean, come on. Like, how many times do we have to see this shit going on before we realize that these people, they don't have our best interest? You know what I mean? Do you know what happened? Do you know what happened that really is not surprising? But that should tell you, yeah, they're lying to us. They don't believe in this shit. They don't think that this shit is as deadly as they say it is. Because it's not. It's not. It's like a 99.97 survival rate for people under 19 and like a 97 point something for people over 70. Come on. It's just, and everything surrounding it, like the faulty testing. Look at what happened with Elon Musk. He took 4 tests in one day. 4 tests in one day. 2 came positive, 2 came negative. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? Like, this shit is crazy. And when he says something bogus is going on, they act like he's a crackpot. And they try to explain the inconsistent test results. Like, oh, well, if this, that, and the third, and that third into this. Well, no. Your tests are faulty. They're inaccurate. And then they say, oh, well, it's not just good. It's not enough to take the antigen test. You also have to take the PCR test. And we know the PCR test is what it is. I shouldn't even have said that because of the algorithms. But y'all know what it is. I don't need to say it about those particular, tests. I'm not really that kind of person. You trying to stay away from people like what? California Dreaming. The bottom line, these people, they have too much power over us. And we know power corrupts. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. And that's what's going on with these so-called representatives. They're not representatives. They're despots. They're dictators. They're rulers. They're authoritarians. That's what they are. This is an authoritarian democracy, not a democratic republic, like we like to think it is. It is a democratic authoritarianship. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say it till I'm blue in the face, until it's driven home. You know what I mean? So, these people are full of shit. People are full of shit. And I'm getting tired of them. Chris Christie and the beach fiasco, yeah. And the extra test for everything else too. They are oppressors, yeah. Real shit. See, people don't realize they're oppressed because they're allowed to live some semblance of a life But look what happens when an opportunity arises for these people to, look what happens when an opportunity arises for these people to step up and assert their power. See, they can assert their power, or they can gather the people together and say, look, we can do this together. This is what we suggest. We suggest you social distance, wear a mask, blah, blah, blah. But no, instead, the first thing they want to do is shut everything down, close down businesses, force you to wear a mask. And if you don't do it, you get a fine. You get caught again, you get a larger fine. You get caught a third time, you go to jail. How's that freedom? If I don't want to wear that thing on my face, I shouldn't have to. But if a private business says, oh, you can't come in here unless you wear a mask, well, that's up to that private business, and I just won't shop there. But for a government functionary to tell you what you can and can't do, what you can and can't put in your face, they got me fucked up. You understand? And they don't hesitate. And people are so afraid, are so in fear, they don't even realize what they're giving up when they obey these laws. Not even a law, it's an edict. It's a command. It's a dictate. Right? That's what we're dealing here. We're dealing with dictators that want us to bow to their authority. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I have bad knees and a bad back. So I'm not kneeling and I'm not bowing. I don't know about y'all. It's all good. It's all good, California dreaming. But it's fifth grade science. Wear a mask in public, closed places. It's not difficult to understand. Well, I'll tell you what. It doesn't matter where the place is. It doesn't matter what the science says. Right? Because if there's one thing we know about science, science is constantly being tested and challenged, especially scientific theories. Right? This whole Tecate 19 is a theory. It's not a fact. So to say that wearing a mask indoors is the prudent thing to do, there's nothing that proves that. As a matter of fact, the opposite is true, according to a CDC report that says 71% of infected people always wore a mask. So that flies in the face of what they've been telling us about these masks, how much they work, how they've been slowing the spread, this, that, and the third. But the science from the CDC says that it don't work. 71% of infected people always wore a mask. 4% of people who are infected never wore a mask. I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna go where the odds take me. You understand what I'm saying? Made me sick as I've ever been. I got in from someone sneezing in the van and made us all sick. 11/13. Oh, you talking about back in August of last year? Come on, man. You still talking about that August stuff? You don't know what you had in August of last year. You don't know what that was. Yeah, it's a theory. Okay, so they published a report. The CDC published a report, and the FDA. The FDA published a report that showed that 40% they don't have isolates. They don't have any Tecate 19 isolates available. All right. And they also said a positive PCR test cannot rule out a bacterial infection or some other viral infection. That's what it says. It says the sickness that you test, whatever you tested positive for, it could be a bacterial infection. It could be some other virus. But they don't have any isolates available of the Tecate 19. So how is it? It's a theory. It's something they made it up because either they don't understand what it is or something else is going on. But when they tell me they don't have any isolates available, that means it has to be isolated, it hasn't been purified, it hasn't been visualized, right? That means they don't know. See, like, what they've been basing it on are tissue samples from dead people that have died from allegedly this sickness. So they took samples from people that have died, right, from their lung tissue, and that's what they tested against. They took whatever remnants of whatever disease that were in that sample and they tested it, and that's what the PCR test is tested against. It's not tested against the actual RNA sequence from the Tecate virus because they don't have that yet. So, yeah, it's a theory. Yeah, 71% actually. 71% of people who got infected with the Tecate 19, according to the CDC, always wore a mask. 4% never wore a mask. So, and imagine this. When you're wearing that mask, you're breathing into it. You get all your germs going into it, your spit, your saliva. Things from the outside air are collected on that mask. And you're throwing it on, you're breathing that shit back in. Not only that, it's like a little petri dish on your face. I'm gonna call it the facial petri dish from now on, because that's what it is. You're breathing into it, your germs are snatching onto it. And let's say you do, right? I saw some guy, he took a vape pen, right? He puffed on a vape pen, put the mask on, and blew out the vapor, and it came right through the mask. You know the little paper mask that you get, the little paper mask, them little blue ones that they sell at Home Depot. He had that on. He took that vape pen, took a real big puff, and blew out through the mask. Smoke was coming out the front of the mask, the side of the mask, the bottom of the mask, top of the mask. And these are smoke particles or vapor particles, right? Viruses, right? If you believe what they say about viruses, are much more smaller than vapor particles. You understand what I'm saying? So let's say that somehow the Tecate gets in your body. You're wearing this mask, so your lungs you don't have the opportunity to expel this thing, to expel it from your body, because you have this mask on, and you're trapping most of it in right. You sucking most of it right back into your system because you have a mask covering your face. See, your respiratory system is not meant to be a closed loop. It's supposed to be an open loop, right? But when we put these masks on, we're closing the loop and we're breathing in back bullshit that we're not supposed to be breathing in. So I can understand why more people get sick wearing it than they do not wearing it. But you know, that's what the CDC report says, not me. Just throws those statistics out the wind. Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's common sense to me. I didn't say that. Ted, you just said the mask traps the virus. I didn't say that. I said, I can imagine. What I said was, whatever you're breathing out of your body, because there's a reason you exhale. There's a reason you exhale, see? You exhale, you're not just breathing out CO2, you're breathing out whatever particles, whatever objects, whatever contaminants are in your body. Whatever's in there, you're breathing out. So you're breathing in oxygen, but you're not just breathing in oxygen. You're breathing in nitrous. There's all kind of things in the air that you're breathing in. Dust, all kind of shit. So your body wants the oxygen, right? It doesn't want the dust. It doesn't want all these particles, the germs in the air. It wants to expel that when you exhale. So that's why you exhale. So you're exhaling the CO2 and other particles that are in your body that your body does not want. But when you wear a mask, you can't do that so readily. You're less likely to expel shit. So what you're doing is you're trapping germs and shit in the mask, and whatever you're trying to breathe out is getting trapped in that mask, and you're breathing it right back in. You might be getting rid of some of it, right? But not as much as you're supposed to. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it. And then, you know, that why would that not apply to a virus? But like I said, they showed vapor particles going right through the mask, right through it, above it, below it, on the sides. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't believe it. Not to mention the CDC said 71% of people who get sick with the Tecate always wore a mask. When I'm on the dialysis machine, I have trouble breathing, and they will not let me take my mask off hard for me to catch my breath. Yeah, it's bullshit. Because you're not getting the amount of oxygen your body needs when you breathe through those masks. And you're not releasing the amount of CO2 from your system you need to release when you have the mask on. So people's blood gets acidotic when they wear a mask. That's why people are passing out driving. That's why people are passing out wearing a mask, because they're wearing it too long. You really shouldn't be wearing a mask more than 15 minutes at a time. I learned this because in my field, I have to wear a mask sometimes because we're dealing with silica dust. Potentially, we're dealing with asbestos. So, and when we're dealing with asbestos, we're wearing an actual respirator, a half-mask respirator with filter canisters on the sides. And there are exhalation valves in the mask for you to breathe out all that CO2. So you have an exhalation valve to get rid of CO2, and you have a hell of a filter coming in. And this is the deal with asbestos. Asbestos particles are tiny, but they're not as tiny as viruses. You understand what I'm saying? But a mask like that, like a half mask or a half face respirator, something like that will work better than those paper masks they tell you to wear. If you really want real protection. And if you really want real protection, you wear a suit with an integrated oxygen tank attached to the mask. So that way, you're not getting any outside air. You're getting that pure oxygen from that tank. But, you know, they tell you the paper mask are sufficient, or a bandana, or a pair of panties. They tell you that that'll work. It's a complete and utter nonsense. I was talking about this down there just a few seconds ago, and there were two chicks. They were listening. They were wearing a mask as I'm talking about it, and they started getting upset. They started getting upset and started walking up. Oh, I don't care what he say. All right, that's why we're in the position we're in. They don't want to hear logic. They don't want to hear reasoning. They want the fear to rule them. Fear is easy fear is easy to deal with because it's such a natural instinct. Critical thinking is not natural instinct. People don't want to think critically. They want the government masters to think for them. Let's see. me see. Mask isn't 100% effective. It's just a reasonable alternative to a hazmat suit for most people. Actually, it isn't. A hazmat suit, let's say, because when I was in the Army, we had protective masks, right? They call them gas masks, but we call them pro masks, right? It's a full face mask that you wear that seals all this. It seals it, right? And it has these filters that filter damn near everything out, except for the oxygen. And they have exhalation valves, and they even have tubes that can go to an oxygen tank if need be. If there's no oxygen available in the air, like say for instance there's nerve gas, mustard gas, or something like that, then you wear this mask attached to an oxygen tank that you carry, and you wear a full hazmat suit, right? They call it a mop suit, all right? You wear this mop suit that has activated charcoal inside. That's real protection against anything that tiny that can invade your body. These masks, even the N95. The N95 mask, which has an exhalation valve, by the way. N95 masks have exhalation valves. And I have like 10 of them at the house that I don't wear. I save them from when they're really needed, all right? Because N95 masks were designed to stop tuberculosis, right? They're designed for tuberculosis, not viruses. Tuberculosis is a bacteria. It's a bacterial infection, all right? So that's what an N95 mask is for. Virus particles are much tinier than that. These are things that people are not going to tell you that want you to live in fear, right? They want you to live in fear because you're easier to control that way. By the way, all these things I'm saying are facts. They're not conspiracy theories, YouTube. So everything that I put up here, I can cite. As a matter of fact, I put the FDA report in the description. I put the CDC report in the description. And about the mop suit and the protective mask and what that protects against. Because let me tell you something. If there was a biological attack or a chemical attack, that would be the only thing. Or a nuclear attack, that mop suit with that mask and that oxygen tank will be the only thing that would protect you, unless you go into a basement that has like 12-inch thick concrete. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of places, schools are rally points for nuclear attacks, because they built them in a certain way. So you go down in the basement and a nuclear blast occurs, you'll be protected from any radiation because of that concrete. But other than that, you're talking about virus particles, which are much tinier than all the things that I just mentioned, right? Bacteria, chemical particles that could do you in. And don't think that little paper mask is going to protect you from a chemical agent attack. It's not. If it's not going to protect you from a nuclear attack, it's not going to protect you from a virus. You understand? Viruses are much than all that shit. Snap, what do you recommend people start doing right now? People are fleeing solo. Fleeing solo? What do you mean? You mean fleeing their state? What I recommend people do? Buy land. I don't know what you mean fly solo, but look, what you want to do is, like I say all the time, by yourself, start building a network. Start building a network. Yeah, you wore a hazmat suit. I'm talking about a mop suit. It's not necessarily the same as a hazmat suit. A hazmat suit you're talking about is the yellow shit, right? A mop suit is something that a soldier would wear out in the field if there's a nuclear attack, a biological attack, a chemical attack. It looks like the normal BDUs, but it's real thick and it's lined with charcoal and other shit that keeps shit from penetrating it. I'm talking about a mop suit. It's not necessarily the same thing as a hazmat suit. But a hazmat suit will work as well. You're right. A hazmat suit with a full face mask with an oxygen tank would be the only thing to protect you from a virus. That's just the bottom line to it. They're much too small. Those little holes, those holes that you see in the mask, the paper mask, a virus will go right through that for the most part. But if you're wearing it and if you get the virus in you, you'll have a less likely chance of getting that shit out of you, right? Because the inside lining of that mask is less permeable than the outside lining of the mask. Did y'all know that? The outside lining of the mask is less shielding than the inside of the mask. So if you're breathing shit out into the mask, it's stopping most of that shit from getting out of the mask, meaning that you're breathing it right back into your body. So that's why healthy people should not be wearing a mask. That's what they say. You never seen it to where healthy people wear a mask. You want the person that's potentially sick or been exposed to something, you want them to wear it because it's going to stop whatever is in you. It's going to be more likely to stop it from getting out of your body and reaching other people. That's why they tell you wear the mask to protect others, not to protect yourself. Well, if healthy people are wearing a mask, why do they need to protect another person from themselves if they're healthy? If they're healthy and they're not displaying symptoms, why are they wearing a mask? If it's not going to stop them from getting sick. You see, it don't make no sense. It don't make sense. Look at that. 4 brothers in a row just wearing them. Not even wearing it right. All kind of gaps on the side and on the top. Like, what are you doing? And you know, it says right there on the box, be properly fit tested before you wear the mask. 99% of these people are not fit testing before they wear these masks. They're just throwing them on. It's crazy. It's wild. I've been running on too long about this. I had other shit to talk about. Oh yeah, they want to, but there are governors that are like, nope, we're not going to enforce that. So I wanted to talk about that too. Of course, Joe Biden wants to lock the country down for 6 to 8 weeks once he becomes president. Like, he wants to do a nationwide lockdown. But there are already 2 governors so far that are saying they're not going to enforce that. And that's Mississippi and South Dakota. No surprise that South Dakota said that. But yeah, Mississippi and South Dakota said they're not going to be enforcing any lockdowns. So there you have it. There you have it. And that's what we need. We need actual representatives. And you know, what's her name from South Dakota? That mayor, Newsome, I forgot her first name. In my mind, she's the closest thing to a representative we have. Because when everybody was locking down their state and all the other shit, she refused to ever. She never locked down. Ever. Never. And, you know, she didn't have the issues every other state had, but now they're saying, oh, there's a spike in South Dakota because of this, that, and the third. There's a spike in every state because they're doing more testing. The more tests you do, the more fucking infected people you're going to find. I just need people to think. What's up, Gaming with Stan? Yeah, she's cutie. She's a little cutie. But yeah, she said no. They're not enforcing any lockdown in Mississippi or South Dakota so far. So we'll see how far this goes. We'll see what Joe Biden does. You know, what can he do? It's state powers, right? That's the 10th Amendment. The 10th Amendment says any powers not allotted to the federal government, I'm paraphrasing, are reserved for the people and the states, right? Or the states, the people or the states. Really, to me, that just means the people, right? Because it could be the people if you don't have a particular state. So when they had the Constitution, there were still lands that were not considered states, that were still being developed or still being colonialized or still being, you know what I'm saying. So when those lands, they just had people, they didn't have an actual state. So they had to make sure that the people that did not belong to states had that right over themselves, had that power. But see, this is the problem with the Constitution, that they would give anybody power, right, over the people, right? Anyway, so we'll see. So hopefully more states take up that stance, like, no, we're not enforcing any lockdowns, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we know California's going to enforce it, so that's dead in the water. I'm hoping Nevada doesn't enforce it, so that if they do lock down, I'm taking my happy ass to Nevada, spend some time out there. I got people out there. But California Dreamer was asking, what the hell? Oh, I'm itching. California Dreamer was asking, what do you do? California Dreaming, you have to build a network. You have to find some way to build a network of like-minded people that you can rally with. Lockdowns do nothing. Make people poor. Exactly. Well, that's what they want. They want you poor and destitute and ready to accept free money that they're going to use to manipulate you. It's communism 101. They're building a communist society right before our very eyes. Seems like Nicolette Moore says, seems like the virus got worse after we came out of lockdown. No, that's not what happened, Nicolette Moore. What happened was they performed more tests. More people are getting tested.
1 down, 6 to go.
And they got nothing to do with the lockdown. Didn't stop nothing. Even the World Health Organization said the lockdowns cause more harm than good.
Let's go, brother.
So, no, those lockdowns didn't do shit, but make shit worse. It got worse, like I said, because more people are getting tested. More tests are available. More people are getting tested. They have more types of tests. So, and there are a lot of false positives. A lot of false positive tests. So no, that's not what's going on. As a matter of fact, the rate of the infected are going up because more testing are occurring, but the death rates are going down. So no, it's not getting worse. I challenge that statement. It's so bad in America because they have more testing. Like I said, it all has to do with the testing. That's why they want the testing to be done so bad. They want testing to be done so that more people get tested so they can say, oh, look at all these people that are affected. The more people get tested, the more people you find that are positive. And they can justify their tyrannical behavior. It's really what it's about. No, it's all right, Nicolette Moore. I'd have to modify what you said, if you don't mind. Oh yeah, the hospitals, yeah. Yeah, so they're saying the hospitals are getting overwhelmed again. I don't really see that. In my backyard. bellicose hyperbole. Yeah, Tina Hartman. That's 99.7. That's 97.999 of people over 70. By the way, Tina Hartman. For people under 19, it's 99.97 or something like that. Switzerland had no lockdown, and they're doing fine. Yeah, and you know what? Switzerland had a spike too, but that's because they had more testing and less. I mean, the death rates are very low in Switzerland. They didn't do any lockdowns. Elon Musk, bellicose hyperbole, says Elon Musk got tested 4 times in one day. 2 positive and 2 negative results. Yeah. No, yeah, I talked about that. That's wild. That's wild. So yeah, we'll see if we'll see who else bucks against the these mandatory shutdowns and mandates that Joe Biden wants to do in these states. We'll see how many more states stand up for the people in their states. Ooh, I just got some breaking news. Assemblymen win coronavirus lawsuit against Governor Newsome. So apparently okay. Assemblymen win won a lawsuit against Governor Newsome dealing with the Tecate virus. Good. Bye, Dan. Okay. Yeah, so far, Mississippi and South Dakota said we're not enforcing that. Yeah, recovery is 99.7%. Yeah, good. I hope they do get rid of Governor Newsom. I'm getting tired of that clown. He's a clown. He is a clown. That is the worst person we could have ever chosen to be governor of our state. So, did you guys hear about the new laws that Governor Ron DeSantis signed into law? Did you hear about those? They're very interesting laws. Governor DeSantis of Florida signed into law. I want to talk about. Did y'all hear about those laws? One of particular interest to me is Governor DeSantis in Florida passed a law that says that people can shoot looters. So basically, he extended the stand your ground laws to include being able to shoot people who you feel like are looting and rioting. All right, so a regular civilian, not the police, the regular civilian, if they feel like they're looters, causing problems, rioters, destroying property and stealing property, you can shoot them. All right, that's one law. Another law is, let's see, if you hit somebody with your car and it's a protest blocking traffic, you won't get charged for hitting that person with your car. If you hit someone who's blocking traffic, blocking a roadway. So that's another law. All right. I think that's it. Those 2 laws. You can hit people who are blocking the road and not get in trouble, and you can shoot looters and rioters that are destroying property, stealing and whatnot. So Yeah, so that's what we got going on in Florida. I'll tell you what I think. I'll tell you what I think. I'll tell you what I think about, I say, you know, it is what it is in regards to that one. And in regards to shooting looters and rioters, look, this is the bottom line to it. What that governor just did, and I don't know if he did this on purpose, he just empowered the people in his state to a certain degree. He empowered his people in his state, all right? He empowered them. Now, you might think, okay, somebody stole something, or somebody's trying to steal something out of your store. That doesn't mean that they should be killed. But who knows what the intent of that person is? Like, if they get caught, if you catch them trying to steal something from you and you try to stop them, who knows what they're going to try to do to you for trying to stop them. So in a real world, in a world where an armed society is a polite society, it might not even go that far. So if people are aware that Governor Disantas had just passed this law, they might be a little bit more hesitant to do that shit if they see people standing in front of their stores or standing in front of their property, or they're standing on the side of the road with their firearms, ensuring that people don't go crazy. It could be a hell of a deterrent.
No.
Just make it right.
But Governor Disantas just empowered the people in his state. He said, you know what? It can't just be the police out there doing this, right? He empowered the people. He didn't say, he didn't sign a law that said, let's put more cops on the street to stop protesting. No. He empowered the people. He said, you know what? Y'all can handle y'all business. If y'all see people rioting or stealing and breaking into your stores, you can do what you have to do to defend your property and your life, because you don't know what these people's intents are. So he just empowered his people. That's what I saw. Empowerment to a degree. Now there's a long ways to go to fully empowering the people, but that's a great start. It's a great start. You just gotta move it along a little bit more, right? Now, what I would do if I were in Florida, I would gather all the people. Like, look, Governor Disantas just gave us this huge ability to protect and defend ourselves. What we need to do is organize, right? We need to organize, come together, come up with a plan to make this a permanent thing, not just with rioting and looting, but with anything in general. We should have that power with or without a riot, without looting, because there's still criminals out there that we have very little power to do anything against because of these laws that, there's stand your ground laws in Florida, but if people had, the encouragement and the empowerment to go ahead and exercise the ability to defend and protect themselves more, then that would stop crime. That would lower the crime rate. That would prevent a lot of crime. Can you imagine if criminals out there knew that you were willing and ready to take them out if you had to, if they started shit in your neighborhood? Can you imagine what that would do? Oh man, that'd be such a huge preventative measure. And that's what we need. We need empowerment for the people. We need to stop empowering the police and start empowering the people. You know what I'm saying? And that's one way to do it. Like, now the police, they don't have to feel so much stress dealing with these riots. They know that the people are going to be able to stand up and handle business themselves. And that's what we need. We need to be able to handle shit ourselves more and more. The Hodge twins was still food. I sold food too when I was poor. Shit, when I was younger, shit, y'all don't even know half of what I did. When I was 16, 17, 18 years old, out on these streets, I was literally on the streets for 3 years after my mom kicked me out. Trust me, I did some shit. I had to do some shit, you know what I mean? That I'm not gonna talk about right here, because, you know, I don't have anything on my record. And I'm gonna keep it that way. Let's see.
So yeah, she's at that level. Okay.
Now, me, myself, I wouldn't just go around shooting people that are stealing. You know? I don't think that's what I would do is I would probably hold them up. But if I were to be attacked, that's a different story. You attack me, with or without. You know, if I know you're coming at me with something, I don't know what you're carrying. I don't know if you have a knife. I don't know what you got. If you attack me and I feel like, you know, fisticuffs or hand-to-hand combat was not going to take you down. Because, you know, I'm a skilled fighter, so if I see you try to attack me and you don't have anything on you, if I know you don't have anything on you, which is, if I don't know you like that, I don't know what you're carrying. I don't know if you have a knife in your boot. I don't know if you got a Derringer in your pocket. I don't know what you got. So my thing is, until I see something, I'm gonna have to be really alert. Until I see something, an object that I see that I can probably give you the advantage over me, my first aim is gonna be to break a leg of yours or separate a kneecap or dislocate your knee or something like that, or crack a rib or two, incapacitate you to a degree. That's gonna be my first move. But if you have any type of weapon, oh yeah, I can't give you that concession. You understand what I'm saying?
Because when they actually do, you don't even know. I know. He was like, I'm done. I'm like, what? I thought he hadn't even started.
If Gaming with Stan says if someone is damaging stuff, I don't if they get shot. However, if someone is stealing food, I'm not going to shoot them. Yeah, me either. Yeah, you have to use your brain, right? You got to use your you got to use common sense and human decency. You can't just take this this law that Disantas put out and say, oh, now I can go around shooting everybody. No, you can't do that. I mean, you can, but I wouldn't do that. I would just, you have to be able to assess the threat. Are they a threat to you or are they not? Now, if someone breaks into your property, you know, as you're in there, if you're in there as they're breaking in and you don't know what they have, how many people are with them, yeah, that might be one of the first things you want to do is take a shot. You know what I mean? But, you know, if I see somebody coming out of a store holding a TV or holding food and they're no clear and present danger to me, I'm not gonna shoot them. I'm not gonna shoot them. I'm gonna just try to incapacitate them in some way. Hold them down and maybe do a little citizen's arrest. I don't know. Whew. Now, if somebody stole food, I'm gonna have to go about their way, man. All right, you got you some food. Keep it pushing. But yeah, you know, you gotta use good judgment. Why she put me out? California Dreamer asked why mama put me out. Well, I was bad. I was bad. I was a little asshole who was stealing from her. And, you know, I was ditching school a lot. In 10th grade, I missed 60 days of school in the second semester and got kicked out. I got expelled. All right. Now, what was I doing? I was ditching class, smoking weed, and hanging out with this girl, with multiple girls, but this one in particular had gotten pregnant. So, I mean, I was just doing too much. I was bad. So, you know, that wasn't the incident that got me kicked out, right? So I got expelled from 10th grade, but they gave me an opportunity to make some of it up in summer school. And I missed the first 3 days of summer school. And I got completely kicked out of Crenshaw High School. So now I was basically a high school dropout. And you know, my brother, he would always have weed at the house, right? And he would always be smoking. He would always be smoking in the house. I never smoked in the house. I thought it was stupid. I was like, you a dumbass for that. I would smoke outside the house. You know what I mean? I was smoking in the streets. I was smoking parking lots, whatever. But I would never smoke in the house like his dumbass. But one time, he smoked something. And he smoked something and left. He smoked a blunt. He left a blunt in my drawer, right? And then he went to go stay with his mama for a week. We had different mamas. So he stayed with his mama for a week. And while he was gone, my mom was going through my room, found that blunt in my drawer, and she got pissed and called the cops on me. And the next day, she sent my ass away to a group home when I was 16. So I got sent away to a group home where I was bad, man. I got sent away to a group home, and it was a co-op group home, which means it was girls and boys. It was yeah, so one of these girls liked me in the group home, and we started kicking it. And then we started kicking it some more, and then next thing you know, we was getting busy. We got caught. And I got kicked out of there. So I was on the streets until I was able to find another group home. So I was in and out of group homes for 3 years. And yeah, I was doing my share of dirty work, you know what I mean? Because I had to survive, you know? I couldn't go home. Yep, look at me now. And when I was 20 years old, oh, nigga let more kick my daughter out at 17. She was doing too much. That's funny. You know, and I'm not mad at her, you know? I'm the man I am today because my mom kicked me out. God knows what would have happened if she kept giving me chance after chance and I kept doing what I was doing. But thankfully, I never had any real run-in with the police during those 3 years. You pay rent for her now? That's funny. That's what's up, son. You know, you do what you gotta do. First, sometimes you gotta throw them out. Sometimes you gotta put your kids through some shit to help them you know? And that's what my mom did to me. And I thank her for it. You know? I went through a lot in those 3 years that shaped me into being the man that was ready to go to the Army. And being in the Army shaped me even further. Yeah, she called the cop. Yeah. She couldn't beat my ass no more.
There's a liquor store. Fuck it up.
Beating my ass wasn't working no more. So she called the cops. Cops came and was like, get your shit together. You know what I mean? Stop treating your mom like that, blah, blah, blah. Different than perhaps they would have handled it today, where they probably would have came up, rolled up on me and shot me immediately, right? But no, they came and yeah, I wasn't trying to hit the cops, so I was like, man, what y'all talking about, man? I was like, that woman just slapped me. And they were like, good. They were like, good. I was like, okay, well, so what y'all gonna do? Place me on arrest? No, they took the blunt. They took the blunt and kept it moving. But I'm pretty sure my mama wanted me to go to jail that day to teach me a lesson. When the cops wouldn't take me, she just sent me to a group home. So now I'm wondering what would have happened if she would have sent me to military school instead. I'm surprised she didn't do that, because my mom was military too. Did I have a kid at 16? No, she had an abortion. I didn't want the abortion. She went ahead and had the abortion. So without me even knowing about it, I didn't find out till after she had it. And I didn't give her no money for it. She didn't want to have the money because her parents had bread. Her parents had bread. And they had plans for her. She was one of those bougie, well-to-do, affluent chicks that had wealthy parents and all that other shit. Now, my family, my mom and stepdad were upper middle class, but they weren't as wealthy as her family. So, they didn't really know who I was. And when they found out she was pregnant, they were like, nah. They the ones who got her to do it.
You can FaceTime while going up these stairs?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, bro.
Yeah. It's YouTube Live.
Okay.
Yeah. That's how you got to do it. But yeah, yeah, her parents had her do the abortion. You grew up in juvie, Nicolette Moore. It made me a better person. Now I work for the government with a clearance. But that's what's up. Get her number. Kay Louderback. I'm married, man. I can't be getting these women's numbers. I'm married. You try to get me in trouble, dude. She was cute though. Hey, you trying to get me in trouble, man. I can acknowledge the beauty, but I can't. That's all I can do is acknowledge the beauty. I'm a man at the end of the day, and my wife recognizes that. She busts my balls sometimes, but a lot of times we look at girls together. I can tell her, hey, yo, you see Ma over there? She's stacked, right? Man, she built like a shit brick house. And my wife would go, yeah, she is. Hey, yo, am I back? Hold on, y'all. Am I back, y'all? Man. Yeah, my phone shut down because the phone said it was overheating. Phone said it was overheating. I don't know how when it's only about 70 degrees outside. It's been hotter out here and the phone didn't overheat. So I don't know what happened. But yeah, they said the phone overheated. My phone said it overheated. So I had to let it cool down. Sorry about that disruption, y'all. I don't even know how many laps. If your phone in a case in his, yeah, I know. Gaming was saying, yeah, I'm aware of that. But it's not even that hot out here. But I see what you're saying. No, I know that. I've had it happen several times. But it'll be like in the 80s or 90s when it's happened before. Never when the temperature was like 70 degrees like it is now. You know what I mean? Like, and I've been up here when it's been hotter with the same phone case. I guess it just, today it was just a little bit more sensitive. He disappeared. Lots of buffering now, frozen. Canopro lens, they make them white so the glass does not warp. I hear you. I hear you. But y'all see the sky? Y'all see the sky? Nice clear blue skies today. And I can feel, and I can taste the fresh air. Like when they don't spray for a while and the air is clear, you can tell the difference. You can tell the difference. But I'm finishing up now. I don't know how many laps I did, 7 or 8, 6 or 7, I don't fucking know. What's the temp out there? Right now it's about 70 degrees. 70 degrees. But as you can see, the sky is nice and clear. The UV rays are getting through. All the UV rays you need in your life. You know, they want to tell you, oh, you can't get that much sun. You're gonna get cancer. But what were they doing before sunblock? People were outdoors all the time back in the day. Back in the 1800s, 1900s, there wasn't no sunglasses and no sunblock. They had hats, right, with brims. You know what I mean? People were out in the sun all the time. But when you put all these chemicals on your skin, right? Like from lotions and creams, all these chemicalized lotions and creams, and then also from the sunblock, which has all these chemicals, you don't think that somebody's going to interact with that stuff in a negative way and cause cancer? No, it's not the sun itself. It's what you're slathering on your skin, right? Using these harsh soaps and sanitizers to strip your skin of the natural shit that's going to protect you, right? It's crazy. Wasn't nobody talking about no skin cancer like that back in the early 1900s, 1700s. You know, shit, just wear a fucking hat if you don't want the sun beating on you like that. Absolutely, you need vitamin D from the sun. I was telling my wife, because usually in the wintertime, I like when it rains a lot. But I told my wife, man, I hope it stays like this in California all winter. Because, you know, I don't really want to deal with the rain like that. With this, they're already trying to keep us indoors, you know. And if it starts raining a lot, you'll be more cooped up in the house, getting more depressed. You know, people get more depressed and all that shit. Nah, fuck that. Let's enjoy life. Let's enjoy the great outdoors. That's what my mom said. We believed it was the sun, but yes. Well, not just the sunblock, right? It's all these chemicals with your skin. You know what I mean? That you put on your skin, these lotions with all these chemicals. You don't think that interacts? The sun hits it, interacts with the fucking chemicals. It's a chemical reaction. And then they blame the sun outright. Like, oh, look what the sun did. Motherfucker, we had the sun. The sun's been around for billions of years. Since life began. Life began because of the sun. Right? You wouldn't have life without the sun, but they want to blame the sun for cancer? Fuck out of here. No, motherfucker, it's the shit y'all doing to the environment. It's the chemicals we're slathering on our skin. Oh, I probably drank that too fast, but it is what it is. My sister worked as a nutritionist in a hospital in Florida. They had a lot of black women that had cancer. She had to tell them not to put those chemicals in the hair. Yeah, for sure. That's what it is. It's the chemicals. My sister did not know about all the chemicals black women put in their hair. She didn't? Well. One thing you guys should watch. Chris Rock put out Chris Rock's daughter's hair. Encouraged him to start a documentary called Good Hair. And it goes into that really good. So you guys should check out Good Hair by Chris Rock. It deals with all the chemicals that black women put in their hair and what is marketed to black women. They market these products to black women. It's really good. It's a really good documentary. Y'all should check it out. Chemicals for a perm, chemicals for hair grease. I know I put Duke in my hair when I was 17. I left it in a little too long and it fucked my hair up. It damaged permanently my hair on top of my head. So now I can't grow hair like right here. It took a while, right? The damage is set in. But when I hit like 20, I think I was 22 or, how old was I? 24. That damn spider on my shit. I think I was 24 when I had to call it. You know, I had to get over the denial and shave my hair off because it wasn't working no more. I had waves and all that shit, right? I had waves. My shit was decked out. You fucker. I had waves, but then the shit started getting thinner and thinner up here. And yeah, at some point I had to give it up. So anyway, that's all I got for now, guys. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for hitting that like button. Thanks for sharing the video. Yeah, so a lot going on. Governor DeSantis passing those laws where you can shoot rioters and looters, where you can hit rioters, you can hit protesters that are blocking the street and not get in trouble. A number of things, check that out. You know, Joe Biden wants to issue mandatory lockdowns nationwide, but several states, or at least a couple states right now, are saying that they're not going to enforce that. Good for them. What else did I talk about? Shit, I talked about, what did I talk about? I forgot, y'all. I just got through doing my rucking and I'm just like, whew, lost for words right now. What else did I talk about? Yeah, anyway. What did I talk about? Shit, I forgot. Something to do with the mask, I don't know. Something to do with mask and fucking how bullshit they are. Y'all know. Same shit. Different toilet. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. If you're just getting in, you guys can go back and check out and redo this live once it renders. Holla at y'all later. Stay safe out there. If the sun is out where you at, go out there and enjoy the sun. Yes, I can't say that Game & Withstand because the algorithm will pick it up. I will say that a CDC study showed that 71% of infected people with the Tecate-19 always wore a mask. And 4% of those infected with Tecate-19 never wore a mask. I can say that. So anyway, much love to you guys. Stay safe out there. Get some sunlight. If it's out where you at, go out and get that. All right, peace out.